Welcome back, Borderlands community, and welcome to another Borderlands 3 video. I'm going to be going over Zane and his story, background, and his action skills. Turns out that they're giving out these small little bundles of joy for all of us to see for each character before the game comes out in September. So first off, we're going to be going over Zane. I've been sick recently, so sorry this video isn't out as soon as I would have liked it to have been. This post did come out on July 30th. It's already August 4th. My bad. I've been sick recently, so I haven't been able to get a lot of this content out. I will be doing the Moe's video shortly after this one, and it'll be out. But basically, we're going to go over all of their action skills and a little bit of their background and their story. They actually gave us a little video here to kind of see the character. You can see their movements, the way they speak, kind of their personality, which is actually really cool. So we're going to go over this video. There's a couple things in here I want you guys to notice. First of all, you can actually see the action skills being used in this, which is really cool, and some other significant things dealing with the rose. We keep seeing the rose a lot in the Borderlands trailers and the box art and everything else. There has to be some significance with the rose. The rose has to mean something. I think it is the Children of the Vault. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And the guy holding up the 3 on the box art. That has to have some significance. I'm guessing the rose is just kind of their calling card in some ways. Something about that. We'll see in the other trailers whether or not they have the rose. I'm willing to bet that in Moses' trailer there's also a rose as well, along with Flank and Amara and everybody else. I would not be surprised if we end up seeing a rose in their trailers also. Let's just get right into this. We can see the action skills and everything else. Heading over to the saloon.
Listen, gorgeous, I've had a lot of jobs in my day. Janitor, exterminator, plumber, you name it. But through it all, I've been.
So right there, see the corner of it, there's one of those roses, and it looks exactly the same, just like on that box art and everything else, but we'll keep going.
Alone. I guess I've always kind of put people away, since I've bounced around a lot, and I can be a little defensive.
There's his barrier skill.
That's why you're the only one I can talk to. You're the only one who understands me.
And of course his digiclone. So this is a digital clone that he has comes out. Right there he is next to the rose once again. I'm sure it has some significance. We'll see that later on. I'm not sure if we'll understand that until the the actual game comes out itself or what, but there has to be some significance with that.
Plus you're handsome as hell. But as always, duty calls. You got the tab, right?
There we go. So for the most part, we just get to understand him a little bit more as a character. His wittiness, the way he talks, his accent. I think it's actually a pretty cool character. Going over his action skills, he actually is pretty well balanced, and I'll explain more of that after we go through each of his skills. So he has 3 skill trees. Just like in any Borderlands game, you get 3 skill trees, but there is a difference with Zane. Zane can equip 2 action skills at once. We know about that. Although choosing to do so will replace the ability to toss grenades. So basically, if you want to throw grenades as Zane, you can only have 1 action skill, unless you want to sacrifice your ability to throw grenades in turn with having another action skill in its place. So you can have 2 action skills, but you won't be able to throw grenades. In my opinion, I think that's a worthy sacrifice, especially for the different action skills that Zane has. It definitely makes sense to, get rid of the grenades in place for all this other stuff. It just makes sense to me. Starting off with Double Agent, that's his digiclone. So different stuff here. Digiclone, Agent. Zane players gain a large bonus, such as synchronicity to increase gun damage while both action skills are activated. Different stuff like that. Actually, you can see actual lines from the developers themselves talking about this. Become a master of misdirection with the Double Agent skill tree. Whenever Zane's digiclone is active, Drawing enemies fire, he can trade places with it. We know about that. By learning skills in the double action agent skill tree, you can amplify your digiclone for some truly tricky setups that will leave your target's head spinning before you blast into a bloody explosion. So you can actually make the actual clone itself blow up, and you can also swap places with it as well. But there's some other stuff that I thought was really cool here. These are 3 different skills that we can actually buy or I guess earn or unlock in the skill tree, the double agent skill tree. Quick breather lets Zane immediately start recharging his shield whenever he swaps places with the digiclone, which provides a huge boost to survivability. So normally you have a cooldown rate for whenever your shield recharges, but instead if you do this and you swap places with the clone, you automatically just start shield regeneration right off the bat. So your shield might be completely depleted and it's trying to recharge, you just swap places and it'll automatically start going back up. Enhance causes your digiclone to consume up to 3 grenades when you summon it, giving the digiclone amp stats for every grenade it consumes. So it can consume up to 3 grenades, so every grenade it consumes, it becomes stronger and stronger. I'd imagine every time I'd probably use 3 just to make him, really strong. Not only is it sacrificing the ability to use grenades, but you flat out, if you have 2 skills, you won't be able to use grenades at all to begin with, so you might as well just, spin 3 grenades every single time you want your clone to come out. I don't use grenades a ton in Borderlands unless I'm literally just throwing them to cause black holes to get smaller enemies out of my way, so that's just my playstyle. I guess it really depends. Double barrel ups your DPS by giving your digiclone a copy of the Zane's current weapon, and swapping places triggers increased gun damage for you and your digiclone. So double barrel, basically whatever gun you have in your hand, it also gives to the clone. So if you can have a rocket launcher in your hand, your clone will have a rocket launcher, which is insane. And whenever you swap places with them, it increases the gun's damage for you and the clone as well. So right off the bat, you spawn, swap places, and you have 2 really strong, powerful guns right next to each other. So for the most part, that's most of what we can see. It gives some more details here. The action skill augments, blah, blah, blah. The ability to detonate for an explosive fire, to soak up some of your damage, blah, blah, blah. Invest in digiclone, gets upgrade from the handsome distraction to meaningful source of damage, blah, blah, blah. So there's some other stuff there. Let's move on to the Sentinel. By the way, this one, the clone, is kind of like Zero's thing. Zane's kind of the cesspool. He's just a bunch of random characters, skills, kind of put together. So a lot of his skills are going to seem really familiar. You'll learn more about that here soon too. The Sentinel, this is kind of like the turret class, while digiclone was kind of like Zero and his skills. So you'll learn more about that. And then we have Barrier, which kind of it's its own thing in some ways, but some of the actual stuff in here is kind of from other people as well. I'd say his Barrier is the most non-like any of the other characters in the other games. But let's go on to Sentinel. Embrace the kill or be killed mentality with the Hitman skill tree. You gain a substantial bonus whenever you kill an enemy, and includes any enemies who run afoul to your Sentinel. The Hitman skills is a means for stroking bloodlust. Scoring streaks make you stronger, which makes killing enemies easier, blah, blah, blah. The cycle repeats until nothing but bodies, loot, and lie in your awake. So basically, the Sentinel, you're just using it to kill. You kill an enemy, you gain a boost. That's kind of its thing. Unlike some of the turrets in Borderlands, you lay down a turret, it just fires and just kills. The Sentinel actually rewards you for getting kills with it, which is good. So let's read on to some of the stuff here, some of the skills that we can unlock in this skill tree. Salvation gives you a damage, gives your damage a bit of life steal after you score a kill. So killing something will actually bring you health, so you can shoot your way back to health if your life bar starts to dwindle during battle. Death follows close, improves your effectiveness and duration of your kill skills, letting you tear through large groups of enemies with ease. That's a pretty cool one. Just flat out increases the effectiveness of the Sentinel itself and the duration that it will go on and the skills. This one right here I think is unique. So looking at all the different skills that you get in Sentinel, it seems like you have to kill something first, and then you get the, rewards for it. Seeing Red sets up all of Zane's skills anytime he activates an action skill. It doesn't even sound like it's even the Sentinel. It says whenever he activates an action skill. So I wonder if you activate the barrier or if you activate the Digiclone, if it also works for that as well. It might be something that ends up happening if you do that as well. If you stagger your action skills properly, your overall damage output will be through the roof. So it sounds like this is a pretty cool one to go with. I definitely think the C and red one might be something to definitely pour a lot of stats into. I think this one and the where is it, the double barrel. I imagine that those are ones you just unlock one time. You don't put more points into them. It seems like something you just do once, but we'll have to see when the game comes out. Excuse me. So here's the undercover skill, which is the barrier. Keep your entire team safe and buff their damage output with the undercover skill tree. So he sends out a big barrier that gives buffs to your team at the same time. For the most part, I thought Zane was kind of a solo character until I saw this barrier. This barrier actually helps out your team a lot. Zane, in my opinion, might be the best well-rounded solo or team character that I can see so far. Again, this is just the first one that we've gotten where we can see in depth with the skill tree and everything else, so I'm not 100% sure. But the Digiclone and the Sentinel are very good for solo. Even the barrier might be good for solo, but the barrier itself helps a lot when it comes to having a team, giving your team buffs, and then being able to send out the Sentinel or the Digiclone lets you to keep shooting enemies while you're giving your whole team buffs and helping them out along the way. Let's go ahead and read on to some of the stuff that the undercover skill tree can do. Investing points in the undercutter skill tree can give your barrier some clear improvements, like increasing maximum shield capacity and decreasing recharge rate, so it helps with your shields. Go deeper still, and elemental damage becomes a dominant theme, whether you're dishing it out more effectively or improving how much you can take. So it sounds like it's helping with shield upgrades and elemental stuff alongside being a barrier itself. So confident competence buffs Zane's gun and accuracy whenever his shields are active, with better bonuses for stronger shield percentages. So higher the shield percentage, the better your gun's damage and accuracy is, which can suck too, because if it goes down, then you're kind of just shooting all over the place. But it's still a buff either way. Calm, cool, collected rewards Zane for using cryo weapons. Anytime you freeze an enemy, you'll recharge shields, health, and action skills in that order, depending on what's currently full. So basically, it goes one by one and sees which one has the least, and then refills it. So it starts with the shields first. If your shield's down, it'll recharge that, then it will recharge your health, and then start recharging your action skill. So it kind of goes in order of, I wouldn't say most important, but it goes in a different order. Obviously it'd be shields first, then health, and then I think it's just action skill last, because that's the only other thing you could possibly have that needs to be refilled. And it says depending on what's currently full. So I bet if your health is down but your shield is full, it will go right to health and then action skill after that. So that's actually pretty cool. It goes towards everything. I feel like Zane would definitely be a character you want to use a ton of cryo weapons with, because your shield, health, and action skill all are going to be recharging so much faster if you're actually able to successfully free somebody. And according to this skill tree here, you can improve your elemental damage and a lot of elemental stuff with this skill tree, so that might be something to look forward to. Looks like the barrier is working out well a lot with elements, but let's go on to the next one. Distributed denial is a big one, giving your barrier the effects of your currently equipped shield mod, which also applies to the allies near the barrier, with reduced bonuses to Zane himself. It'll feel like everyone's getting together for a big buff party anytime you drop a barrier. So you drop down a barrier, and whatever effects are currently equipped on your shield mod will go to the whole party. But it sounds like if you have teammates with you, it will reduce the stuff that actually happens to Zane. Zane's will basically not be as buffed as it could be if it's helping out teammates. I think that's a worthy sacrifice if you're willing to help out your team. He might not be as buffed, but then again, if you're a solo character, you're more buffed. So it sounds like Zane is a really well-rounded character. He doesn't have any super crazy, wacky things. He does have a lot of stuff we've seen before in the past. We've seen shields technically in like Roland's barrier. So technically we have seen stuff like that. Athena's shield's kind of a barrier. We've seen some of this stuff already. It's not super crazy, but I do feel like he could be a really cool, well-rounded character, whether you're doing solo or multiplayer or, you know, whatever else. I think he could actually pull out to be one of the stronger characters. Here's some more art for him. So he's called the Operative, which I think makes sense to me. He definitely, you know, seems to be doing, you know, stuff like that. Just flat out being the dude who's literally taking care of everything. Could do his own shield stuff, can be working alone. He's the Operative. He gets the job done. It seems to be working that way for me as well. I can totally see that with him. Another thing I wanted to point out in this art is there's a guy up here holding a book with what looks like to be an upside down Borderlands symbol, and like like gods and shit like that, like psycho angels or something. I'm not too sure, but that's still some cool art regardless. I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. For Zane, I'll have the Mo's one out here very soon, but thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you all in the next one. Follow my Twitch down below if you want to catch me playing Borderlands 3 when it comes out. I do plan to do some of that on my YouTube, but I will be doing a lot more grinding and stuff like that on my Twitch. Twitch is linked down below. I also have my Instagram if you're a cosplayer. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe for more content, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.